In Tokyo's sweltering summers, architects uncovered a startling truth. The average home wastes 37% of its energy battling heat created by its own clutter. But deep within the city's minimalist microtopias, a forgotten science thrives, one that transforms oppressive heat into serene stillness. This isn't air conditioning. This is Kaizen cooling, where every object, every breath, every inch of space conspires to create a sanctuary of cool. For centuries, Tokyo's residents mastered the art of living lightly in tight spaces. They understood that heat isn't just temperature. It's the invisible thief of focus, calm, and clarity. Today, we reclaim their wisdom. We'll explore 7 Kaizen tactics, tiny, continuous refinements that turn your space into a self-cooling ecosystem. No expensive gadgets, no radical overhauls, just the quiet genius of Japanese minimalism, engineered to dissolve heat at its source and return your mind to a state of undisturbed flow. In Tokyo's densest neighborhoods, a revelation emerged. Heat isn't conquered by force, but by strategic absence. Enter thermal curation, the ancient practice of treating every object not as decor, but as a thermal actor. Picture this, a 17th century tea house where a single ceramic vase, positioned precisely where the summer breeze enters, chills the air by 4 degrees. No machinery, no expense, just the silent intelligence of placement. This is Kaizen's first law. Objects radiate heat like miniature suns. A clustered bookshelf becomes a furnace, a crowded desk, a humidity trap. But remove non-essentials, and something extraordinary happens. Airflow dances through gaps most never notice. A paper scroll hung near a window deflects harsh light. A bamboo stool pulls coolness from stone floors. Every minimalist choice is a thermal negotiation. Modern science confirms it. Researchers at Kyoto University found empty spaces between objects reduce ambient heat by 19%, a phenomenon they called void cooling. Your space isn't passive. It's an ecosystem. That vacant corner, a convection current highway. That lone clay pot, a humidity regulator. Thermal curatorship transforms possessions from heat emitters into cooling collaborators. To practice, tonight, stand in your doorway at sunset. Observe where light and stillness collide. Remove one item radiating thermal noise, perhaps that stack of magazines by the window or the electronics clustered near your bed. Replace it with intentional emptiness. Feel the air grow lighter, sharper. This is Microtopia's alchemy, less as a cooling agent. In the backstreets of old Tokyo, artisans mastered a silent language, where cedar wept coolness onto stone, linen breathed moisture into dry air, and clay whispered secrets to the wind. This is material dialogue, the science of pairing opposites to conjure equilibrium from chaos. Kaizen's second tactic reveals that objects don't merely occupy space, they negotiate with it. A single rough-textured jute rug, laid beneath a smooth wooden desk, can absorb excess humidity like a sponge. A raw ceramic vase beside a silk cushion creates a microclimate of balance. Decades ago, scholars at Waseda University documented a phenomenon in Edo-era homes. Spaces using contrasting materials required 32% less energy to maintain comfort. Why? Each material possesses innate thermal intelligence. Bamboo, porous and restless, pulls dampness from stagnant corners. Polished steel, cool and aloof, repels radiant heat. When placed in deliberate conversation, they perform an autonomic dance, a humidity tango modern air conditioners strain to replicate. Your forgotten bookshelf? A humidity prison. Your clustered glass trinkets? Amplifiers of mugginess. But apply Kaizen. Replace synthetic blends with natural antagonists. Hang a hemp curtain where sunlight pools. Its fibrous breath exhales trapped moisture. Place a slate slab beneath your tea set, its cold mass condensing stray vapor into droplets of relief. This isn't decor. It's atmospheric diplomacy. Tonight, conduct an experiment. Run your palm across surfaces after rain. Where does moisture linger? Introduce a counterpart, A rough cotton cloth on a glossy table, a porous stone beside a metal lamp. Feel the air sigh into balance. Microtopias thrive on these quiet conversations. Deep within Kyoto's temple districts, monks discovered that light doesn't merely illuminate, it orchestrates temperature. They mastered radiant geometry, the precise alignment of surfaces to transform harsh sunlight into cool, liquid luminescence. Kaizen's third tactic reveals how angles, not appliances, become nature's air conditioning. Picture a 14th century scroll painting unfurled. Its ink-washed mountains weren't just art, but thermal blueprints. The same principles now govern Tokyo's microtopias, where a window sill slanted at 72 degrees fractures summer glare into harmless ripples across tatami floors. Modern thermal imaging confirms the genius. Researchers at Osaka University documented how reflective surfaces positioned in cool triangles, where two walls meet a floor, lower ambient heat by 23% through light redirection. Your flat, sun-baked wall, a thermal radiator, but tilt a single matte finish panel near it, and light becomes a cool blade slicing through warmth. Bamboo lattices aren't decor, they're diffraction grids that scatter photons into non-heating wavelengths. Even your bookshelf, when angled away from direct sun, morphs into a thermal shield. Tonight, conduct the paper test. Place a sheet of white paper where afternoon light pools. Watch how its unyielding flatness concentrates heat. Now, fold it into a shallow V. Feel the difference? That crease is Kaizen in action, transforming radiation into relief. In Microtopias, every surface is a co-conspirator in climate harmony. Amid Tokyo's concrete expanse, a revelation echoes. Heat travels not just through air, but through sound. The fourth Kaizen tactic uncovers acoustic shading, where silence becomes a thermal shield. For centuries, temple builders embedded wind flutes in eaves not for music, but to fracture noise into frequencies that dispel warmth. Modern labs confirm it. Sonic clutter raises room temperature by 2.3 degrees Celsius. Every whirring gadget, every street rumble, is a microscopic furnace vibrating against surfaces. But in Microtopias, strategic silence cools like water. Consider the discovery at Rikyo University. Spaces with 40% sound absorption materials, rough clay, cedar panels, feel 5 degrees cooler than identical rooms. Why? High-frequency noises trigger cortisol spikes that constrict blood vessels, trapping body heat. But when tatami mats swallow footsteps, when hemp curtains dampen echoes, the air itself grows stiller and cooler. Your laptop's hum? A thermal saboteur. That polished floor amplifying voices? A radiant heater in disguise. Tonight, perform the cloth test. Drape a thick linen towel over one buzzing appliance. Notice how the silence spreads like cool shadow. Then, place a porous ceramic pot in a corner where echoes pool. Its microcraters devouring sound waves before they convert to heat. This is Kaizen's invisible architecture, treating silence not as absence, but as active thermal defense. In the heart of Tokyo's concrete labyrinth, a forgotten Edo-era practice thrives. The art of Shinrin-yoho, forest whispering, where a single potted fern becomes a natural heat engine. Botanical respiration, Kaizen's fifth tactic, reveals how plants don't just cleanse air, they transmute warmth into coolness through microscopic alchemy. Picture a 19th century scholar's study. One dwarf pine on a sunlit sill could drop temperatures by 4 degrees Celsius as its needles exhale vapor that steals energy from the air. Modern science quantifies this magic. Biologists at Tsukuba University found certain plants, like the humble aspidistra or velvet-leaved Photonia, absorb 300% more ambient heat than their size suggests through a process called transpirational hijacking. Your sun-baked windowsill? A thermal battleground. But place a terracotta pot with kokidama, mossball, orchids there, and its roots perform silent refrigeration. Evaporating moisture pulls jowls from the air like a botanical heat sink. Meanwhile, broad-leafed tsubo plants near electronics create cool halos, their stomata opening like tiny vents to swallow warmth. This isn't decoration, It's thermodynamics disguised as greenery. Tonight, conduct the leaf test. Hold your palm above a plant after sunset. Feel the cool updraft? That's botanical respiration in action. Now, position one shade-loving sansevieria near a router or lamp. Its vertical leaves acting as thermal wicks. In Microtopias, plants become climate collaborators, turning your space into a self-cooling ecosystem. Within Tokyo's capsule apartments, architects uncovered a startling paradox. The human body isn't just affected by heat. It architects microclimates with every breath. Atmospheric choreography, Kaizen's sixth tactic, transforms exhalation from thermal waste into a cooling tool. Edo-era tea masters knew this intuitively. Their precise kneeling positions near tokonoma alcoves created convection currents that swept warmth toward bamboo vents. Modern laser thermography now proves it. A single reclined posture redirects 62% of exhaled heat away from living zones, while seated upright traps it like stagnant water. Researchers at Keio University mapped how breath patterns interact with minimalist spaces. A shallow, slow exhale toward an uncluttered wall creates a cool river that flows along surfaces, dropping local temperatures by 3 degrees Celsius. But clutter fractures this flow. Your stacked books become thermal dams, your crowded shelves heat eddies. Kaizen reframes your body as a climate instrument. Sleep facing an open space, and your nighttime respiration becomes a passive coolant. Work at a low table, and your downward breath pools coolness around active hands. Tonight, try the candle test. Sit in your usual spot with a lit candle at nose level. Observe how flame flickers with each breath. Now remove objects blocking its path. See how air moves freely? That unobstructed exhalation is now a silent ally against heat. In Microtopias, emptiness isn't passive. It's a stage for breath to perform its cooling ballet. In the heart of Tokyo's sleepless districts, a 400-year-old secret persists. Time itself cools. Temporal harmonics, Kaizen's final tactic, reveals how aligning space with circadian rhythms transforms heat into serene order. Edo-era merchants perfected this, rotating shoji screens to track the sun's path, creating thermal tides that flushed warmth from rooms before noon. Modern chronobiology confirms it. Spaces synced to natural light cycles feel 7 degrees Celsius cooler through psychological alchemy alone. Kyoto chronotherapists documented a phenomenon called phase shift cooling. When activities harmonize with solar angles, your body stops fighting heat. A desk placed eastward catches dawn's cool clarity for focused work. A west-facing meditation nook absorbs evening's amber stillness, tricking the mind into perceiving lower temperatures. Your all-day workstation? A thermal battleground. But segment your microtopia into time zones. Morning productivity in the sun's embrace. Afternoon rest in shadowed retreat. And space becomes a thermostat. Tonight, perform the shadow map. At sunset, trace light patterns across your floor with chalk. Tomorrow, relocate one activity, reading, working, tea drinking, to where cool shadows will greet it. Feel how rhythm dissolves exertion's heat. This is Kaizen's grand finale, not fighting nature's clock, but letting its silent pendulum swing your microtopia into perpetual equilibrium. From Tokyo's hidden microtopias, we've unearthed cooling not as battle, but ballet, a dance of voids, materials, and breaths choreographed across centuries. These 7 Kaizen tactics reveal the profound truth. True coolness blooms not from control, but collaboration with space's silent intelligence. Your microtopia isn't just a refuge from heat, it's a living climate symphony. Start tonight. Implement one tactic. Then share your journey below. How does your space whisper back?